For years, Americans have been told a lie, that government is wasteful, oppressive, and ultimately unnecessary. This myth wasn't born naturally. It was carefully crafted by those who stand to benefit from dismantling public institutions. Corporate interests, ideological extremists, and political operatives have worked tirelessly to erode trust in government, starving it of resources, sabotaging its effectiveness, and then pointing to the wreckage as proof that it never worked in the first place. They have convinced the public that the failures they engineered were inevitable. But now, there's an opportunity to break that cycle and expose the truth. At this moment, the government stands at a crossroads. Republicans in the Senate need Democratic support to pass a continuing resolution to keep things running, but simply going along with business as usual would mean playing into the hands of those who want to keep government weak. Instead, the moment calls for something bold, a shutdown, not as a failure, but as a demonstration. When government services grind to a halt, it won't be an accident or an unfortunate side effect. It will be a wake-up call, forcing people to see in real time how deeply they depend on the very institutions they've been told to distrust. Most people don't notice government when it works. They don't think about safe food, clean air, emergency response systems, or the countless programs that support their communities. But the moment those things disappear, their absence is undeniable. This is the reality that must be made clear. Government is not the enemy, but the foundation of a stable, functioning society. The shutdown must be framed as a reckoning, a moment where the illusion of government's uselessness collapses under the weight of reality. To succeed, this movement must take control of the narrative. The shutdown cannot be framed as dysfunction. It must be seen as a necessary fight to protect what truly matters. The voices of those affected must be amplified. Federal workers who are not just losing paychecks but protecting their jobs from being permanently eliminated. Business leaders who understand that an unstable government means an unstable economy. First responders and community leaders who know that when government fails, people suffer. The media must not be allowed to frame this as just another budget fight. Every missed paycheck, every delayed benefit, every stalled program must be a reminder. This is what the opponents of government want permanently. We are making sure it only happens temporarily. But the shutdown alone isn't enough. The resolution must be controlled so that it ends with lasting impact. The public must emerge from this crisis with a clear understanding of why government matters. And that means not just restoring funding, but demanding protections against future sabotage. Solutions must be made clear. Solutions that reinforce government's role, not just as an employer or a service provider, but as the backbone of a functioning democracy. Political coalitions must be built, drawing in those who understand that without government there is only chaos, and the people must be mobilized, refusing to let this be just another temporary disruption. This is not about manufacturing a crisis, it's about finally letting the truth be seen. As frustration builds and pressure mounts, the old narrative, the one that says government is the problem, will begin to crumble. What replaces it must be something stronger, something undeniable. The realization that without government, society itself begins to break down. And once that realization takes hold, the forces that have spent decades trying to destroy public institutions will find themselves on the defensive, exposed for what they truly are. Now is the time to take a stand. Call your senator. Demand that they refuse to pass another temporary fix that keeps the cycle of destruction going. This moment must not pass without consequence. The lantern fails, the path is blind, yet dawn will carve what night designed. From fallen beams the arch is spun, a bridge to rise with coming sun.